Students, joints are a place where two bones meet. Joints help the skeleton to move. All the bones are connected to another bone, and the end of these bones are covered with a cushion. Why cushion? So that they can be prevented from being rubbed against each other. And this cushion is known as cartilage. Stretchy straps, as you can see over here, these are called ligaments. They help to hold the joint together and prevent it from being dislocated so that they do not move from its own place. They are not dislocated. Right, students? Immovable joints. As the name itself says, these joints are not able to move. It is a joint where two bones are joined together, where there is very little or no movement at all. Then why do we have these joints? We have these joints to protect the delicate organs, right? Like we have the joints between the bones of the skull. They are not moving, but they protect the internal organs inside the skull. Like they have the joints between the teeth. So such joints are known as immovable joints. The joints that we are able to move freely in our body are called movable joints because they can move, as the name itself suggests. Now, these types of joints are found in our arms, legs, hips, and shoulders. We are able to move these joints freely. Why? Because of the presence of the cushion. Remember, which is known as cartilage. Normally, as we see, there are 6 types of joints, but in our syllabus, we have only 4 types of joints, and that we'll be discussing it one by one. Now, students, will talk about the first joint, that is hinge joint. It is a type of joint that allows movements only in one direction. Like you have seen the doors of a room or the window panes of a windows. They open or they move only in one direction, that is they open or close, right? Similarly, these type of joints, they also move only in one direction. Like you see your elbow moves either front or back, right? The knees to and fro, fingers, toes, they all have the hinge joint. Now this type of joint is known as ball and socket joint. Like you can see on the left hand side, there is a ball which is being fitted in its socket, right? What does the ball do? It moves in all directions since it is round in shape. So this ball and socket joint helps the movement in all directions and is found in the hip and shoulders. That's why if I ask you to rotate your arm from the shoulder, you would be able to do it, right? Similarly, the ball of the hip also. Here, one ball is like a ball and fits into the hollow socket of the other bone. That's why this type of a joint is known as a ball and socket joint. The next joint that we talk about is a pivot joint. This type of joint is found between our head and neck and allows side to side, upward and downward movement. The joint between the first 2 vertebrae and the skull is called atlas. The next type of joint we have is a gliding joint, which is also known as a plane joint. These joints allow the bones to glide past one another in any direction along the plane of the joint, that is, up and down, left and right, and even diagonally.